Howdy, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the 7-Day Boogie. It is I, your host, the Boogieman himself. You know what's up. We talk about life, talk about movies, talk about video games, talk about other stuff. It's whatever. And it's just for me to blabber about the things that I love. You know, share what I love with the world of Boog. That's you. So welcome. If it's your first time listening or watching, thank you. If it's not, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, tell me your thoughts and fears. If you're on Spotify or other audio-only programming, check us out on YouTube. There's a video version. Or just, check it out however you want. I mean, I'm going to make the show, and I'm going to put it out, and then how you access it is totally up to you. So, what have I been up to lately? Apologize for the slight delay in this episode. I was up spending some time with family. Family time is always great. I am a lucky guy, and I have two cool older brothers that I get to do cool stuff with. And I got to do cool stuff with both of them over this last week. My oldest brother is one of the shreddingest skateboarders this side of the moon, and we went on a great little skate trip while he was in town, so stay tuned to the end of the pod. Our skate edit is going to be at the end, before the credits that don't exist, so stay tuned for the skate edit at the end of the pod. And my other older brother is one of the coolest musicians. He made the theme song for the 7-Day Boogie, so he and I are working on a guitar project together, so I got to really focus in on some cool hobbies with my bros in the last week, and that is rejuvenating. It is invigorating. It is radical. Both having hobbies and having people so close to you that not only inspire you to do those hobbies, but you can really get into the nitty-gritty details and just have a bond through that hobby or through making something together or doing something together. That is the joie de vivre, if you know what I'm talking about. That stuff is good for your heart and your mind and your body. So I would recommend it. Get some hobbies and then do those hobbies with the people that you love. And we all know what one of my hobbies are, and that's I share it with you all because you're people that I love. That is watching movies and playing video games. And right now, I'm on a movie mission, the likes of which have never been seen. No one on Earth has seen all 7 Tremors movies. I will be the first person in existence to watch all 7. And recently, I watched Tremors 6. So we're nearing the end of the Tremors power ranking. And we'll never be the same. We've learned so much. We've laughed. We've cried. We've been frustrated. We've been scared. We've been amazed. These are just the typical emotions that one can feel when watching through such a prolific movie series, such as Tremors. The story changes. The monsters change. But what I'm looking for doesn't. So we're going to get right into it. Tremors 6. Sound the Slog Sirens is the second official Slog in the Tremors franchise. It's been well documented, the divine hatred that I felt for Tremors 3, and really Tremors 6, appropriately named, because it just kind of multiplies all of those weak points by 2. We're going to do a brief synopsis, and then I'm going to complain for a while. So Tremors 6 supposedly takes place in the frozen lands of Canada. And I say supposedly because there is no snow in this movie. They're supposed to be in the Arctic portions of northern Canada, and they aren't. They just straight up aren't. In the beginning of the movie, it starts out with the classic, unnamed researchers have to die so that we know that there are graboids in this area. They're on sand dunes. They're supposed to be, drilling through ice. I think they bought one ice block instead of filming in somewhere that's actually cold. They just bought a big brick of ice because they zoom in on the brick of ice while they're taking geological ice samples. And then graboids show up. And they are running through sand. They are on sand. It looks like sand, but they put a blue filter on it to trick you. And that is telling for how the rest of the movie plays out. After doing more research than anyone should on Tremors 6, I found out that they were supposed to actually film in Canada, but something went wrong. There was an administrative error, and they ended up just filming in Africa again. So they're in Africa having to wear winter coats, pretend they're cold, and they just explain away the snow because they're supposed to be in the frozen Arctic Canada. They're just like, it's pretty hot this year because of glaciers melting. So they point the finger at us, the viewer, for our carbon emissions as to why there's no snow in the movie. So the movie is called A Cold Day in Hell. It was probably a hot day on set every single day that they were filming, but they still had to wear like beanies and coats and stuff and go like this and pretend that they were cold. So the movie right away just like sells you a false bill of goods. Supposed to be graboids on snow. There just is no snow in this movie. So Bert and Jamie Kennedy, who should be in jail for his performances in the Tremors movies, are running the shop back in Paradise Valley, I say Paradise all the time. Perfection Valley. They're running the grocery store now. Bert is having some tax issues. He needs some money to keep things going. Jamie Kennedy again just should be in a locked up in a facility for what he does in these movies. He is just making the worst jokes, acting simultaneously not cool enough to be in the movies and too cool to be in the movies, which is a tough type of auteur performance from him that, in my opinion, just like doesn't pay off. He and Bert get called back into the fold because of the research facility being attacked by graboids. We're hitting all the major, this is another Tremors movie story beats. Researchers attacked by graboids. That is bad. Bring in the only people that know anything about graboids still after like 15 years of making movies and their existence across multiple continents. The only guy that knows what to do is Bert. So he gets called to Canada to take care of the graboid issue. Now, that is basically what happens in the movie. They throw in some they throw in some curveballs in that Bert, after having been swallowed by the albino graboid in Tremors 3, is now infected by the graboids and is having graboid trauma flashbacks that lead the scientists at the research base to do some tests on him, showing that he has been infected by some parasitic graboid brainworm, and they now need to catch a live graboid to fix him. I guess. To pull the blood of a graboid, but it must be living. There's like some healing gland that will not exist if they kill it, but if they can catch a live one, they can fix Bert. And so now that is also the plot. Conveniently, next to the research base is like an evil villain research base, which just kind of muddies up. That just really gives slight like human tension in the story and gives the graboids and ass blasters something, other people to eat other than like the cool scientists that we're rooting for. Very haphazardly, one of the scientists is supposed to be the daughter of Val and Rhonda from Tremors 1. that is just totally shoehorned into the plot. There are just a couple scenes where she will do something and Bert will be like, bet you learned that from your parents. Or Bert will do something and then I think Valrondica is her name, is like, oh, my parents told me all about how you love guns, or something like that. So they just are like, well, hey, remember these people? They had a daughter, and now she's in the story too. That's really it. We can go basically straight to the scoring criteria because, again, Tremors 6 is Tremors 3 2. You know what I'm saying? The scoring criteria is going to be rough. This is bottom of the barrel. This is down with Tremors 3, in my opinion. They're tied for last place. It also affects my enjoyment of Tremors 5, because like I talked about with Tremors 5, the monster evolution, I gave them the benefit of the doubt because different continent, similar species, but different, I don't know, taxonomy, different subspecies, right? Different kinds of graboids for different kinds of environments. So the American graboids naturally look different than the African graboids. So tell me why, then, the Canadian graboid is the same as the graboids in Africa, completely destroying the goodwill that I could give Tremors 5 by just copying and pasting. Put fur on the grab. I don't give a shit. Make it slightly different, and you're totally in the clear. But instead, 6 just looks at the lore tweaking and homework they do in 5 and poo-poos it. Does a poo-poo on it. And that bummed me out. So Tremor 6, entirely CGI. The characters are annoying and bad. The movie is annoying and bad. It is the second slog of the series. I'm bummed. I'm hoping Tremors 7 can put a nice gift bow on the series. It was only available, I'm pretty sure, on the DVD that I bought. Includes all new movie. This was a straight to collection movie. I'm going to talk about this in my final wrap up. They don't know what whoever designs the covers of these movies doesn't know what the graboids look like, because the graboid on the front of this one the front of the case looks like it has eyes, and the graboids on the rest, this is why Tremors 4 rules. The only movie that actually has an accurate graboid to what it looks like in the movie on the cover is Tremors 4. That's the only one. All the rest of them, Tremors 2, inaccurate. Tremors 1 and 3 and 5 have what look like the worm tongue on the cover. And then 6 and 7 have the new design of the graboid on the cover. So I'm going to watch Tremors 7 next, and we're going to see how the series wraps up, and then we're going to do a final Tremors super duper power ranking. All right, with Tremors 7 on the horizon, time to kick it over to the Frog Bard with this week's Gamer Update. Resident Evil 9 has been completed. I loved this game. This game feels like a greatest hits album for the Resident Evil series. I mean that in the best way possible. I think a lot of games can get flack for feeling like a bunch of other elements from a bunch of different games. But this is just every Resident Evil game mixed into one. They're playing the hits. I texted one of my friends that this game feels like, now that's what I call Resident Evil, and I'm standing by that. This game rules, bouncing between the two play styles, like I've said previously, with Grace being the first person survival horror and Leon being the third person shoot 'em up, kick 'em up, hit 'em with an axe, ride a motorcycle, do all the insane over the top shit part of the game was super fun. Like merging those two things where in previous games sections can feel stale. There was only one real section in this game that I felt got a little bit drawn out and stale, and everything else in this game was just a ton of fun to play through. Where the story leaves in this game makes me think that there's going to be some extensions or expansions to the story later on. So I hope that there are, and I'm looking forward to getting some more Resident Evil Requiem action in the future. I've also been dipping my toes into Crimson Desert a little bit, and I think I'm going to keep that game as like a weird little science experiment laboratory, just to hop in, burn a couple hours, just adventure around, just have that open world, do whatever, whenever I want, play it for a decade and never complete the story. Skyrim-like experience. And right now I'm just busy suplexing bandits and throwing them off of the cliffs and just exploring, just kicking stuff, floating, just climbing stuff, just hop in, do some weird shit, and then hop out. I am still loving Arc Raiders after doing 2 expeditions and wiping my character. This third character is taking it easy, pacing myself a little bit, focusing more on the adventure and the good times with buddies than like the solo loot and money grind that consumed me with the first 2 expedition cycles of the game. So really just like that World of Warcraft South Park episode where I feel like I've kind of done everything and seen all of the grinding that I need to do in the game, I can just kind of kick back and relax and enjoy the big and the small aspects of the game, right? Just adventuring, letting the game breathe a little bit, and just taking the game one round at a time. I'm also co-oping some other games with some friends. It's the time of the year where we're outside a lot during the day, but then we kick back at night and we co-op games with our friends. Right? So co-oping some fun games, might be making some shorter videos about some of those games. Who knows? Who knows? But there's plenty of gaming to keep us going as we relax after our outdoor activities through the summer months. And that's what's up. That's the gamer update. Thank you as always for the gaming update, Frogbard. Your insights are remarkable. Well, friends, that's going to do it for the 7-Day Boogie this week. Stay tuned to the end of the episode if you want to check out the skate edit from my recent family trip. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on your platform of choice or every platform, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, anything like that. It all helps me out tremendously to get the 7-Day Boogie out into the world. Share my thoughts and feelings, share some love of movies and gaming, and hopefully make some people laugh and have some fun along the way. So again, if you enjoyed the show, let me know, and I will talk to you soon. I love ya. Mwah.